Well, a very good afternoon to you listeners. Welcome to our National League TV and BBC Radio Surrey online commentary this afternoon of Aldershot Town 14th against Ebbsfleet 24th. We're awaiting the entrance of the players through the tunnel. Quick introduction, hello to our summariser this afternoon, Steve Gibbs, the former Aldershot Town media manager, who knows his cue. As soon as those players appear out the tunnel, he'll curtail his sentence. But since I saw you last, 2 away trips, 2 away wins, 6 more points, 14th in the table. Discuss in 10 seconds. What have you got?
Yeah, possibly even less. But yeah, fantastic form. 2 different kinds of opposition with different ambitions and problems of their own. Going to win at Altrincham is no mean feat because of their qualities. And Maidenhead scrapping, fighting for their own lives to go and win there. They never make it easy for any team. And to pick up 6 points on your travels, that's huge credit to Aldershot Town. And now the relative comfort of mid-table obscurity in 14th, almost certainly not going down. A few wags around the Ebb Stadium suggesting that there's only a few wins away from the playoffs as well. If they can make the league season exciting towards the end, then who knows? But there's also the small matter of the FA Trophy semi-final looming large, and yeah, you'd expect nothing less than another home win this afternoon. The Shots are in fantastic form, only lost 2 league games in this calendar year, and with Ebbsfleet's predicament, you'd think the only possible result this afternoon is a home win.
Well, welcome to the EBB Stadium as Aldershot Town and Ebbsfleet take the pitch. Aldershot in their home kit of red and blue striped shirts, red shorts and red socks, and Ebbsfleet in white shirts with black trim and black shorts and black socks. There's a black stripe down the right hand side of the Ebbsfleet kit, and the 2 sides now will shake hands. The Shots, led by Aaron Jones, will line up as follows this afternoon. Marcus Dewhurst in goal, a debut for Levi Lang on loan from West Ham in the back 3 alongside Will Armitage and Luca Woodhouse. And then across the midfield, left to right, Frost Hargreaves, a home debut for Keane Anderson, a home league debut that is, and Aaron Jones the skipper, and then Ryan Jones playing behind Barham and Barrett. And Ebbsfleet line up with Luke O'Neill as their skipper. Reliably informed it'll be a back 4 with Mark Cousins in goal, Max Mangtalo, Luke O'Neill, Muzzy, Pashley, the back 4. Right across the middle, Ben Chapman, Aaron Bolger, Frank getting up to support Aaron Cosgrove in attack. Cosgrove on a season loan, or rest of the season loan, from FC Halifax Town. And we are almost ready to go here at the EBB, where I'm delighted to say that there's 7 mascots just having their moment in the centre circle, having their day in the sun, or their day in the overcast northeast Hampshire clouds, and we'll soon be getting underway. Aldershot up to 14th after a midweek win at Maidenhead United, where it didn't come without a cost. Luke Jenkins injured, probably out for some time. Dan Ellison battered, bruised, bandaged, and not in today's squad, but hopefully not too long before we see him again. But Aldershot have been able to freshen up by bringing the likes of Keane Anderson and Josh Barrett and Ryan Jones back in, having rested to the bench in the week. So a little bit of rotation there, Steve, and an element of freshness in the side, which is one of the ingredients they'll need to get against a a spirited Ebbsfleet side.
Absolutely, yeah. They've been playing Saturday, Tuesday, and even Thursday now for a number of weeks, and that continues for another couple of weeks still. Being able to bring even a reasonably fresh someone like Ryan Jones, who on his day can win a game, has got those game-changing abilities, his goal-scoring abilities, creative abilities. He could really unlock this porous Ebbsfleet defence, and for the visitors it is that they are at that dormy stage. Win or go down. Even then it's not guaranteed that their future will still be in doubt. Lowest scorers, worst defence. You've got to be looking at a home win this afternoon.
Shots will have kick-off. Josh Barrett will take it, and Ebbsfleet have turned Aldershot round. They will be attacking the East Bank in the first half for the first time in some time here at home. Josh Wright stands outside the away dugout. Would have been very pleased and proud to have finally got that first win last week, a 1-0 home win against Fylde. Progression 2 in the Kent Senior Cup, and Aldershot in 14th. Kick-off with Josh Barrett going all the way back to Marcus Dewhurst, who sends it down the left side. The experienced Josh Pasley heads it up in the air, and a little nudge foul from Ryan Jones means that it's a free kick to Ebbsfleet, halfway inside their own half. For the benefit of our online listeners, our NLTV viewers might find the commentary slightly over descriptive this afternoon. We apologise to that, but we've got a lot of long-term loyal radio listeners who want to know what's going on. There's a towering headed winner by Luca Woodhouse, but Edsa turns it inside, and then Armitage sends it forward through the middle, and it's offside against Jack Barham. It looked momentarily, Steve, as if he'd stayed on side for that one, but it's the old friend, the old foe, the delayed flag.
Yeah, and it's a very, very familiar one to Jack Barham, who probably spends more time than most National League players in an offside position. But as we keep saying, every week he only needs one moment and he's in, and it looked momentarily that he was in, because he did really well to shake off his marker and get the ball under control, but belatedly that assistance flag stopped him.
Here's a ball over the top from Ebbsfleet, and Marcus Dewhurst is well positioned. He will catch it. Looks for the early opportunity for a throw. In the end he'll bowl it out to Will Armitage. Huge kudos to those three youngsters on Tuesday night playing at the back for Shots. Only two of which have started today's game, and that's largely because Dan Ellison has not been deemed fit. All past protocols, I'm not sure. It was a head injury amongst others on Tuesday. And so we see Levi Lang straight into the squad, straight into the side. A West Ham loanee that's been on loan in League 2, played 6 times for Cheltenham this season. So comes with a little bit of experience at a higher level, but nevertheless another youngster.
Yeah, and he's a unit, certainly. He's not played much football, but yeah, he's got a little bit of experience, physically imposing, and he's taken up his position in the middle of those two other loanee central defenders who, absolutely, I completely agree with you, individually and collectively, of late they've been absolutely outstanding.
And as far as centre-backs are concerned, it is very much down to the final line of defence for Aldershot. However, options still do remain. You've got Max Mullins on the bench, who can play at centre-back, Aaron Jones, who can drop in if necessary, and rather surprisingly, and a little earlier than anybody expected, I think, Theo Widrington back in the squad today. I'll run through the 7 subs in just a moment, but what a recovery from his injury he's made very quickly, Steve.
It is, absolutely, yeah. We feared the worst but hoped for the best when he was carried off and taken to hospital, but yeah, it seems like there's no lasting damage, because that we all feared that was his season done.
Here's Pasley going past Frost, and he's up against Luca Woodhouse, and he's got to the byline and he's done well, and he looks to pull it back, and it's cleared away by Levi Lang, his first significant moment in an Aldershot Town shirt. Frost clears to touch on halfway. But how well did Josh Passley do there? First to get past Frost and then to hold off Luca Woodhouse. He did superbly, Steve.
He did, and he's going to be one of their main attacking threats. We've seen it for Bromley. Aldershot Town have come up against him several times in the past, and yeah, he's always looked really dangerous going forwards.
Clever bit of play from Levi Lang there, who jumped up right behind Cosgrove. Just done that thing where you nudge them a tiny little bit and it's enough to make sure neither of them can get their head on it. He knew there was enough pace on it to go behind. And shots get underway again in their own half. Certainly Ebbsfleet looking to get a few bodies high and press Aldershot and not allow them to just make their way comfortably through the thirds. Here's Hargreaves sending the ball out to Aaron Jones, gives it back, then he sends it forward down the right channel, and Jack Barham's breaking away up against the number 36, Max Manctalo, and he is significant enough, his presence, to force Manctalo to tow it into touch. Throw in taken quickly by Aaron Jones. He goes back to Will Armitage. Armitage inside to Keane Anderson, who just controls it and goes back to him. Does indeed look like Franklin Domi is the one that's going to burst forward from the midfield to support Aaron Cosgrove in attack. Wasn't particularly rated by people I spoke to up at FC Halifax Town, but one or two more improved opinions on him I've heard since. And here's a ball over the top from Barrett. It'll just be too much fizz on that, and it'll go through to the very reliable Mark Cousins, who had a quite brilliant game against Aldershot earlier in the season at Ebbsfleet, where he made two stunning saves, both of them I think from memory, against Josh Barrett, who caught a couple of balls really sweetly. Here's Barham, can't win it cleanly in the air. Ebbsfleet come forward, it's headed back by Woodhouse, and now Toby Edser, the former shot, picks it up on the right hand side of midfield, and it's played down the right side by O'Neill. Cosgrave is given offside chasing it, and it'll be a free kick to the Shots. We've had 6 minutes gone already here. We'll keep you abreast of the scorelines in the other National League games this afternoon as well. Dewhurst takes the ball, the free kick early from outside his area, gets the ball back, and he's now gone back to Luca Woodhouse, who plays it through the middle to find Barrett, who's come deep, and he's found a lot of space here. Clips the ball over the top, and Ryan Jones should get onto that. Squares it across, half cleared away by Olaguju, and then Woodhouse is a little bit too keen in the back of Franklin Domi, takes him over. Free kick to Ebbsfleet, 10-15 yards inside their own half. Our referee this afternoon is William Davis, who's taken charge of 15 National League games this season. And I'm delighted to say Steve has shown just 42 yellow cards, so he's below 3 yellow cards a game. 1 red, which was for 2 yellows. What sensible numbers they would appear to be.
They would, they're almost a throwback. Which, yeah, absolutely. Hopefully before long we'll have forgotten who the referee is, and his name won't crop up again in commentary. But yeah, clumsy foul from Luca Woodhouse, but that pass through to Josh Barrett, crossing through midfield from the defensive third into the attacking third. Brilliant vision and brilliant execution.
Good strength in the tackle from Ryan Jones, but the ball's in touch for a throw. Bolger leaves it for O'Neill, and he'll throw it back now to Olaguju. So Sutton and Dagenham played earlier today, and a Will Davies 90+2 equaliser got a point against Dagenham, who were on the verge of a second 1-0 away win in a week, and what a magnificent 6 points that would have been. 4 points nevertheless certainly helps their cause. Southend are already ahead at Eastleigh this afternoon, and Boston United, who are going to Hartlepool on the back of 6 consecutive away wins, are 1-0 down to Hartlepool. Gary Medine with the goal. Here's a ball down the left side for Ebbsfleet, which is going to run out of pitch, and it'll be a throw into Aldershot in the right back position. It's Hopper who scored for Southend at Eastleigh in the very first minute of that one. So 0-0 here, 8.5 gone. Steve, what do you make of it?
Not very much at the moment. Something and nothing. both teams started positively, but yet to trouble my notes with anything other than offsides and free kicks.
Same here. We've had contrasting games in the last week because I almost run out of room up at Altrincham, both sides with 11 or 12 decent or half chances, and then I've virtually got half a clear page from Maidenhead in the week, partly because of the lack of chances and partly because it was just such great fun. All due respect to yourself and everyone else that sits alongside me, but having Scotty Davis for company.
No, absolutely. I would step aside for Scott Davis any day.
Here's Keane Anderson winning a 50-50 in midfield. Ricochets kind off of Domi, but he goes back to Woodhouse. Woodhouse out wide to Aaron Jones, and Aldershot look very calm, patient, determined to boss the ball in these opening 10 minutes. Here's Levi Lang sending the ball out to Woodhouse and promptly getting it back. Very much Domi supporting Cosgrove in attack, and not only that but George Moncur as well pushing forward. Here's a ball down the right. Aaron Jones will hope to get there. He does really well. Clever little touch off of Mactalo and behind for the first corner of the afternoon, which goes to the shots at the East Bank end as we enter the 11th minute. Ryan Jones and Josh Barrett are there. The big three come up from the back. That's Luca Woodhouse, Levi Lang and Will Armitage. And they engage now with their markers. And I think Josh Barrett's going to run away. Now he's left the two Ebbsfleet players out there. And now he fakes to stay. In comes the ball. Lovely delivery from Ryan Jones. It's headed down to the edge of the area where it's picked up by Hargreaves. Overlapping run from Tyler Frost. Can he get the ball in on his left foot? Will he switch back to his right? He does. It's cleared away by O'Neill. Aaron Jones should just about get there before Cosgrave, and does. Plays it up to Ryan Jones. What a lovely first touch. Cushioned it, turned inside, carries on inside, tries a through ball. That doesn't come off. And Aldershot continue on halfway with Hargreaves. Patient build up here, plenty of players involved. Keane Anderson floats a ball in, that's headed away by O'Neill. Barrett's onto the clearance though. Gathers the ball under control and feeds Woodhouse. Short to Anderson, and Anderson to Ryan Jones. Now Aaron Jones out on the right hand side. And virtually every outfield player in the team has had a touch in this passing move. Maybe not Jack Barham. Here's Aaron Jones trying to keep a ball in, and it ultimately ends as the ball's played out to the right hand side by finding touch. Throw in taken up to Cosgrave. He's being held off by Levi Lang, who pokes a foot in but can't get it fully clear. And now Moncur sends it out to the left side where Manctalo, and a cross comes in, caught underneath his bar by Marcus Dewhurst, and he goes for the early kick into the left channel. Barham will chase and realises quite early into that chase that he's not going to get there. The one good thing about it, Steve, is that it's found touch right down by the corner flag at the other end. Definitely looks part of the Aldershot plan when Ebbsfleet do end an attack to really try and transition quickly. Absolutely,
yeah. I think it's something that Aldershot Town have become known for under Tommy Widrington, that pace on the transition, causing the chaotic moments that a couple of managers have described it as. And yeah, if that was a line out resulting from that would have been a heck of a kick from Dewhurst. As it was a throw in down near the corner flag.
It's been headed back by Frost, cleared forward, and now poked into touch by George Moncur. Just tell us a little bit about Moncur, Stephen, his experience in the game.
Yeah, absolute great experience in central midfield. Number 10, can play wide as well. He made his loan from Leyton Orient permanent yesterday. He's committed to Luke Wright's future project, and here's
Barham getting in down the left side. He's onside, he's into the area, tries a shot, and it's behind for a corner. Finish your point on Moncur if you want.
Yeah, he's committed to next season, which looks like will be National League South, and I think maybe he's not Football League quality anymore, but on the ball, creatively, still superb at this level, and he'll be one of the outstanding players in National League South. But before that, Aldershot Town will do well to keep an eye on him this afternoon.
Here's Barrett then, setting up to take this corner kick, second of the game for Shots in the 14th minute. Right footed, he's got Jones there if he wants him, and he uses Jones. Jones now approaching the edge of the area, comes back to Hargreaves. Hargreaves back to Jones, and now Jones into the penalty area, and he tries a shot, it's deflected and in. A little deflection on it, but it finds the net. There was no need for him to cross it because it opened up superbly. He got his shot on target. The briefest of deflections, no chance for Cousins, and 14 minutes in, Aldershot Town 1, Aldershot Town 1, Ebbsfleet United 0.
Brilliant finish from Ryan Jones, but that was all about the little drop of the shoulder. He was able to drift unnoticed, unmarked into the penalty area, and then it opened up for him. Yes, it took a little deflection, but I think it was already heading towards that bottom far corner where the ball ultimately nestled. That's Ryan Jones's quality. Can open up a defence. Just one little drop of the shoulder, one little trick, and he can find the space, and he's got the finishing ability as well. And ideally for Ebbsfleet, they wanted the first goal. They haven't got it, and what was already a pretty Herculean task this afternoon just got even more difficult.
So the Shots ahead in the 15th minute. I think you've just done the update to radio there, Steve. Well done. I didn't realise they'd come to us. Sorry, Sophia. Maybe just give me a warning if you did. Apologies. Ebbsfleet back underway on halfway, clearing the ball up in the air. Hargreaves wins it in the air, and then it's cleared forward again, taken down by Domi, and then 50-50 in the middle, in which Bolger beats Anderson, and now Moncur comes away with it. The number 11, ball into Domi, he's got room for a shot. It's a great effort. What a goal! What a lovely finish from Franklin Domi. Less than 2 minutes after the Shots had taken the lead, just shifted it to the left, put a little bit of curl on it, aimed for the left-hand post as he looked at it, and no chance, Dewhurst. 2 goals in 2 minutes here at the EBB. Aldershot Town 1, Ebbsfleet United 1.
What a fantastic finish. Bent it around, plenty of whip, plenty of pace, plenty of power. Found the real far corner of the net there. Marcus Dewhurst was over that side, still couldn't get to it. Fantastic finish, but he only got that shooting opportunity because he broke through a tackle. Aldershot Town should not have let him get into that position to unleash a fine shot. Shots have had something of a problem of holding on to leads, not of late, earlier this season, but if they thought that Ebbsfleet were going to lay down and die, then that tells them entirely different.
Yeah, terrific response from the Fleet there, and a wonderful finish, a real aplomb from Franklin Domi. You'd think he'd done that 10, 15, 20 times this season, but my goodness me, that was a terrific finish. And just a reminder to Aldershot just how dangerous Ebbsfleet can be, playing as they are with a relatively free spirit now. There's a ball over the top into the middle, and Cosgrave tries to take it on his chest, but it just glances off it. And 14 minutes, Ryan Jones 1-0 Shots. 16 minutes, Franklin Domi 1-1. And apologies to Ebbsfleet United supporters after the first goal. I very nearly called your side Dagenham and Redbridge. Apologies for that. I'm sure that would be gross insult. Got it right after your goal though, thankfully. So we've averaged 3 or 4 goals a game here at the EBB this season, and here's Barham, might break free, he's into the penalty area, but great recovery, really good recovery from Max Mangtalo. Read exactly what was on there as Barrett took that down. Barham took that down on his chest. Throw in taken quickly by Frost to Ryan Jones, who's into the penalty area again, pulls it back to Josh Barrett, tries to make room, gets the ball back, follows up. Oh my word! It's another one for the Josh Barrett scrapbook. 1-2 with Ryan Jones. and then lifted the lob just enough to clear Cousins, but not enough to go over the bar. Aldershot have responded to Ebbsfleet's response in the 19th minute. Aldershot Town 2, Ebbsfleet United 1.
Wow. You wait 14 minutes for a goal to come along and then you get 3 in 5. Long may this continue, but what a brilliant finish from Josh Barrett. He's taking a theatrical bow in the middle of the pitch, and well he might. A curling, fading drive that you think, is it going to hold into the top corner or just drift wide? Of course, this was Josh Barrett. It nestled into the top corner. And a word also for Ryan Jones, who started this game superbly. It was him with a little quick 1-2, rat-a-tat-tat of passes in a congested penalty area. And he allowed Barrett to caress that ball into the top corner. Superb.
Yeah, and it's that same player. Ryan Jones has just given a free kick away at the other end, but now Aldershot have won it back. And Barham may be in here. Cousins clears. Cousins, who kept Aldershot out for the entire 90 minutes at Ebbsfleet earlier in the season, has been beaten twice in the opening 20 minutes and pretty much had no chance with either goal. Josh Barrett scored a lot of lobbed finishes this season that have all been proper lobs. That was more of a driven lob. It was low. It had to be low to find the goal because he was relatively close in. He was inside the penalty area. It was almost a cushioned floater, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was drifting. Yeah, it was a lifted shot rather than a lob. A lofted shot, maybe you might say. And yeah, another of Josh Barrett's brilliant finishes. Can't wait to watch his highlights reel in the summer. Over and over again.
Absolutely. Here's Edser going back to Cousins. I read the Aldershot bench out today earlier on, but not the Ebbsfleet one. Can confirm that Kwame Thomas, the former shot, is on the bench today, along with Rakesh Bingham, Dom Polion, Felix Goddard, Ryan Carr, Elijah Anthony and Alex Orahara. Who'd have thought that Aldershot would be taking on a side with Rakesh Bingham and Dom Polion on the bench, Steve? I mean, I guess that will be to do with form and fitness, of course, but good options for Ebbsfleet to turn to on the bench today, as Maidenhead had in the week when they brought on Sam Barrett and Reece Smith. But sadly for them, they'd already lost the services of Tristan Abrahams at the time, thanks to 2 rather silly yellows.
Yeah, but yeah, Bingham and Polion, they've only got 7 goals between them this season. You would expect a far greater return. Like Polion in Ebbsfleet's last promotion season was unstoppable in National League South. Unfortunately for him, it hasn't quite worked out this season. Whether that's personal form or supply or a bit of injury, he hasn't scored since 14th of December, which for any striker would cause concern, but for him, you think something is not right.
Cousins with a goal kick. Frost holds position and wins the header. Barrett takes the ball down, but it's nicked straight away off him by Moncur, and a lovely shift to get away from Armitage by Bolger, but then he ran into trouble. Ball forward is headed down well by Jack Barham into a position where Ryan Jones can pick it up. His composure inside the penalty box is a joy to behold, Steve, isn't it? He just looks like he's got all the time in the world, and you know, for the goal, for the finish, and for the assist for Barrett, they were touches of real class. There's a ball over the top for our radio listeners, goes all the way through to Dewhurst. Steve Gibbs. Yeah,
they absolutely were, I think. And his defensive duties as well, I think, go largely unnoticed. He's playing more centrally this afternoon, Ryan Jones, just behind Jack Barham. But when he plays that wing back role, he knows that the back element of that job title is as important as the winger. And he certainly puts in a defensive shift. And then he's still got the energy and the composure and the creativity to fashion moments like that.
Here's Ebbsfleet having pinched the ball, coming through with Moncur. And it's shifted out now to O'Neill. He's towards the edge of the area. He's got Passley outside of him. Passley receives it, cuts inside initially. He's just trying to shake off Tyler Frost at the minute. Great pressing from Frost, who gets the applause of the shots faithful. and then Barrett very nearly unloads Olaguju, and a few nervy moments for Ebbsfleet. They may come here with a free spirit, knowing that it's win or die today, but having got themselves back into the game so quickly, they've conceded again, and they find themselves where they've spent, from their point of view, far too long this season behind in games.
Yeah, Josh Barrett there, he's so very nearly robbed Olagunju, who's a really good, solid defender, strong in the air as well. But yeah, he looked like he was ice skating there rather than playing on grass. His feet had no coordination at all. He was terrified merely by the presence of Josh Barrett.
Terrific show of pace there from Luca Woodhouse to try and keep a ball in play that was Aldershot's throw anyway. That says a lot about the appetite to have the ball and to play at the moment amongst this Shots side, who started the day as the 8th top scorer in the National League this season, and they've added 2 more to it. And when you consider the conundrum, the problem that lay ahead of them at the start of the season, having lost the goals of Tolaj and Stokes, not to mention the 8 penalties of Kean Harries, to be the 8th top scorers in the division at this part of the season is good. Here's Domi though, he might get another chance. He goes down on the edge of the area, it's a foul by Anderson, and he might be a lucky boy, you know, if he doesn't get yellow for that. He doesn't seem happy with it, to his credit, in the sense that he didn't even think it was a foul. But Steve, I've seen referees go to their pocket for yellow cards for those fouls many a time. Yeah,
I think the way Domi clutched his midriff there, he felt that Keane got more of the man than the ball.
So maybe it was an innocuous coming together.
Yeah, we couldn't see whether there was contact made or the extent of contact.
Oh, sorry, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Adrian, and we're fully with you this time, and we've got 2 more goals to tell you about. Just after you left us, Ebbsfleet struck level seconds literally after you left us, and it was Moncur who won the ball and switched it to Franklin Domi. He just took one step to the left and then curled a low drive past Marcus Dewhurst just inside the post. But less than 3 minutes after that, Josh Barrett got his 15th goal in all competitions with a wonderful driven lob inside the area after exchanging passes with Ryan Jones. If you've got a few seconds more to stay with us, Ebbsfleet have got a free kick around the edge of the box here. We're just 26 minutes in, so it's 2-1 to Shots, but a direct opportunity to strike at goal for Ebbsfleet. Up steps Moncur, and it's a brilliant goal. He's curled it around the wall and past Marcus Dewhurst, and 4 goals here in the opening 26 minutes. Aldershot Town 2, Ebbsfleet 2.
Tommy Widrington absolutely apoplectic at that being allowed, whether the free kick being awarded or the wall not doing its job, Marcus Dewhurst not doing his job. But from an Ebbsfleet point of view, what a fantastic finish. If they are going down this afternoon, they're going down making it a fantastic, thrilling last chance saloon, taking their last bow in the National League. They're making it an absolutely enthralling encounter. Brilliant from Moncur, and that's everything that he's about.
Yeah, wonderful
set
finish.
Pieces, yeah, just brilliant.
Finish from a higher level. Very rarely in this league would you see somebody curl a free kick around the wall and into the corner. I'd have to have another look at it, but it didn't look an awful lot wrong with the wall, and I don't think Dewhurst could have done a lot either. I think it was just class.
Yeah, and I think maybe Tommy was once, because he was tapping his temples and maybe saying, "Come on, we need some cool heads here."
Here's Keane Anderson bringing the ball down. A few frustrations in the crowd, but he wanted to protect the ball before he could see a forward pass. The Shots have done that. They've kept the ball, and believe it or not, they've taken the lead twice and been pegged back twice already in the opening 28 minutes here at the EBB. Shots 2, Ebbsfleet 2. There's a ball down the left from Woodhouse for Josh Barrett to chase. He keeps it in down by the goal line and then impedes Olagunju as he looks to clear his lines, and it will be a free kick to Ebbsfleet, which will be taken by Mark Cousins. Shots got a rare clean sheet in the week, Steve, certainly a rare away clean sheet. It was their first away clean sheet in 13 games. I think only 3 all season away from home, and not many more at home.
No, it has been another thrilling attacking, at times forgetting to defend, but that's the way Tommy Widrington likes to play, and it does make it for an exciting roller coaster occasion pretty much every time the shots step out onto the pitch. But at the other end, Mark Cousins has been fantastic for Ebbsfleet this season. A really horrible season for them would have been a heck of a lot worse if it hadn't been for him in goal.
Good flick on from the header from Barham, finds Barrett, but Barrett's touch and turn slightly heavy, and now Cosgrave will battle with Woodhouse, and it's 3-2 to Ebbsfleet. Confusion there between Levi Lang, Luca Woodhouse and Marcus Dewhurst, and there to pounce was Aaron Cosgrave, who remarkably in the 30th minute has put Ebbsfleet United ahead. Aldershot Town 2, Ebbsfleet 3.
Cosgrave was fourth favourite to win that ball. Just a long ball forward, and Tommy Widrington is looping his arm over to illustrate to his bench how that goal came about. Cosgrave was fourth favourite to win that. Woodhouse and Lang should have dealt with it. They almost left it to each other. Woodhouse ended up in a heap on the floor. Dewhurst thought that his defence was going to deal with it. They didn't. Then he was caught in no man's land. In the end, Cosgrave just lashed it straight and low into the net. Somehow, Ebbsfleet are 3-2 up. 5 goals in 16 minutes. Not quite sure where this has come from, this glorious chaos, but yeah, as we say, if Ebbsfleet are to go down, at least they're going down with a fight.
Strap yourselves in, I think, is the saying we've heard on a number of occasions this season, and wow, there's kind of shock and awe, I think, around the EBB. Full credit to Ebbsfleet, who I have to say took that opportunity superbly, and that was following on from classy finishes from Franklin Domi and George Moncur, and Ebbsfleet have taken full advantage of the fact that Aldershot have had to change their back line again today, and poor old Levi Lang, 30 minutes into his Aldershot Town debut at the centre of defence, is marshalling the defence that's conceded 3. Now a ball forward, and almost something similar at the other end as Barham competes as second or third favourite. Ball ends up in touch. Ryan Jones has got it, sends it inside, and then a stray foot from Ebbsfleet manages to deflect the ball back to Mark Cousins, and all of a sudden it's Ebbsfleet's game to control and slow down.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they've got the ability to do that, or even that they would want it, given their defensive problems this season. I think they've had almost as many defensive injury problems as Aldershot Town, and yeah, the way we're going, this game could end up 10-9, and I wouldn't want to decide who would get the 10.
I think you exaggerate. 6-5, more like. Here's Aldershot in possession in their own half. Hargreaves and Frost exchanging passes, and now Hargreaves sends it down the left channel and says, somebody go chase that. Barham was nearest, but he's not going to get there. The ball drifts away. There's a strange kind of atmosphere in the ground, because the shots began well. They took the lead. They regained the lead after Ebbsfleet had pulled back, but then Ebbsfleet have scored twice more on the 19th and 29th minutes to lead this game, and the entire front 3 for them that we've mentioned, Moncur and Domi supporting Cosgrave, are all on the score sheet inside the opening half an hour, and it looks to me like both sides have done exceptional work this week on how to break the other one down.
Yeah, and forget about defences, which is absolutely fine with us.
Hargreaves with an unusually inaccurate touch there in a little bit of space, and Domi comes away with the ball now, but Hargreaves shows again as Armitage pokes it the ball out to the left side by Edsa. I think Aaron Jones is favourite to get to that one, and it's played very cleverly off of O'Neill. No, it's not O'Neill.
It was Chapman.
Chapman, he's ended all the way up there on the left hand side, off his feet, and it's into touch for a throw in to the Shots 2, Ebbsfleet 3 in the 34th minute. Attendance wise, I think we're around about the 2,000 mark this afternoon. I wouldn't like to guess any more accurately than that, but there's a strange, eerie, offbeat atmosphere in the ground.
Disbelieving atmosphere.
Plenty of time for it to change again, of course. Here's a ball from Woodhouse. Easy one for O'Neill, but Barham's poached and won it, and then played the ball into the path of Frost, who gives it back to him. He's then robbed by Passley. O'Neill sends down the right side. And, Levi Lang just puts a hand up on the shoulder of Cosgrave to impede him. One of those relatively soft contact fouls, but right in front of the assistant referee, who stuck his flag up and rightly gave the foul.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. I'm not getting any warnings when they're coming to me at all. I'm not hearing. Just to our producer in the background, if you could give us a warning when they're coming to us. I'm not hearing it very well at all today. It's 3-2 actually to Ebbsfleet United. Moncur is going to take this free kick out on the right hand side, headed away by Hargreaves, and then Armitage gets something on it. It's headed forward. Barham heads it onwards, and Ebbsfleet will tidy up at the back. Thank you. Long ball through the middle, goes all the way through to Dewhurst. Lang sends the ball out to Luca Woodhouse on halfway. He comes briefly over the line, and then between him and Frost, they just keep possession. Hargreaves plays it to Armitage, and that's slightly behind him. Armitage calm in possession, very nearly got dispossessed by Moncur. And if there's a nervousness evident in the play of either side now, it's changed to the side in red and blue still.
It has, absolutely, yeah. The couple of passes in that move were horribly stilted and wayward.
Here's Frost finding Barrett on the edge of the area, pings the ball back into Frost. Frost looks to play it back to him, but Barrett was just on his heels. He applauds the idea. It's behind the goal away to our left. Goal kick to Ebbsfleet. And yeah, I would imagine one or two in red and blue just perhaps thinking we really need to get at the very least level at half time again. Either way, they may well get sore ears at half time.
I think so, yeah. Tommy Widgington's body language throughout this first half has not been positive, shall we say, not reflecting positively on his team's performance, but Ebbsfleet will be absolutely delighted with this. As we say, they're already thinking about next season, but they're definitely going out with a bang if they are to go out today.
Certainly. I mean, I haven't looked up how many times this season Ebbsfleet have scored 3 goals. I would imagine that that's worth looking up. Here's Anderson sending the ball forward down the right side. It will go all the way through to Manktelow. Ebbsfleet have got it on the edge of their own final third. Ryan Jones pressing. Played forward. It'll find touch. Throw into Aldershot, 10 yards inside their own half. Shots to Ebbsfleet, 3 in the 38th minute here at the EBB.
Would it surprise you to learn that this is the first time this season they have scored 3 goals?
No, not at all, but I didn't want to discredit them by suggesting that.
No, it is. They've scored 2 a few times, and always in defeat. Both of their victories against Hartlepool and then last weekend against AFC Fard were by 1-0.
Okay, throw in to Ebbsfleet. Halfway inside the Aldershot town half. Aldershot have won it, sent it forward, but it's hooked back in. And then a big headed winner from Levi Lang and another one by Woodhouse. And then Ryan Jones diverts it onwards. Olagunju heads it forward, but Keane Anderson's got it now, cushions it towards Barrett. Good control by Hargreaves. Feeds Luca Woodhouse. And then Woodhouse almost, as the ball rose up after his first touch, got dispossessed by Cosgrave, but Aldershot keep it inside their own half. Anderson looks for the options, and Aldershot were finding it a lot easier in the first 20 minutes to break through. Now a hopeful ball down the left channel from Woodhouse is going to find touch, and all of a sudden Ebbsfleet seem to have slammed the doors in the face of Aldershot that were open quite freely earlier on in the game.
They were, absolutely, having got ahead. Ebbsfleet of we're only in the 40th minute now, but their game management since taking the lead has been excellent. They've disrupted and restricted Aldershot Town and made them look far less than their usual assured selves.
Here's Passley going up against Luca Woodhouse, one-on-one on the right hand side of the penalty area. He's trying to dribble his way just into it now. He's forced back, comes back to Edsa to O'Neill. O'Neill thinks about a cross here, but he carries on his dribble, sends it inside. Moncur feeds it to Bolger back out to Edsa. Edsa finds O'Neill, and he again can consider the cross if he wants, but he goes to Passley back to Edsa with the ball into the area, and that's poor. That's neither towards an Ebbsfleet player or has enough pace for anyone to run onto it, and it's a goal kick to the Shots, who'll be grateful for it. 40 minutes gone here. Shots 2, Fleet 3, 5 goals in the opening half an hour, and a rather stunned EBB Stadium as Aldershot come up to towards halfway through Lang and Woodhouse, and now Tyler Frost. Ironically, they were turned around and forced to kick towards the East Bank in the first half. Did so, scored 2 goals, but conceded 3. Here's Josh Barrett floating a ball out to the right hand side. It's taken down by Aaron Jones. He stumbles as he does so, plays the ball back to Cameron Hargreaves. Ball rises up off of Jones's next touch, then he gives it to Barrett. Barrett gives it back to him, or looks to give it back to him, but it's been snaffled by Manctolo. He can only clear as far as Will Armitage. Armitage feeds Hargreaves, and that releases Luca Woodhouse on this left side now. Plays it in short to Ryan Jones. He'll give it back to him. In the 41st minute, can the Shots, who've led twice, come from behind before half time? Tyler Frost on the left side. Jones is making a run, but he can't find the space, and they have to go all the way back to Keane Anderson. Anderson will switch it across to Armitage, missing out Levi Lang, which means Armitage can get his head down and make 5, 10, 15 yards. Feeds the ball to Aaron Jones. First time cross comes in, is headed out only as far as Ryan Jones. He can't quite control it cleanly. Domi coming together on the edge of the box. Foul given to Ebbsfleet just outside their own penalty area, and we will restart with that free kick. A couple of Ebbsfleet players down. One of those is Bolger, and the other one lifted to his feet now as well. Both okay to continue. Franklin Domi, I think it was, all the way back there, working hard for the team. 42 minutes have elapsed, and 5 goals have gone in. Aldershot 2, Ebbsfleet 3. Mark Cousins to take this free kick some 10-15 yards outside his own area. Drills it out to the left side. Armitage wins the header, and then an awkward one, and Barham is lively and onto it. Sends it to Barrett. He's on the edge of the area. He's up against, skips inside his man, but then cover from Toby Edsa means that in the end, well, I'm not quite sure what the referee's seen here. As Barrett was trying to shoot, there was a coming together. I think players from both sides came into contact with the ball. It fizzed towards Cousins. He saved it with no problem at all. Barrett has a word with Passley. He's not sure what he's done wrong. Referee says free kick Ebbsfleet, nothing more. Steve Gibbs.
No, I think Passley made a good strong block challenge. Was hurt in that challenge. I'm not sure that there was a foul. I think the crowd's ire was the fact that Passley stayed down and, in maybe their opinion, was exaggerating the discomfort. But yeah, I think in the end it was a good defensive block from Passley.
Who's going to rise now with Frost? Frost wins this one, heads it into touch. A little bit of a wry look on Passley's face. That's all I'm going to describe. You never know with players. It's such a fine line, isn't it? You know, with what's, you know, what genuinely hurts and what what's exaggerated and what was contact and what wasn't. It's a tough enough job for the referee, who's a lot closer than we are. Flick on from Passley, and Cosgrave's onto it inside the penalty area, and he very nearly gets away from Levi Lang, who recovers somewhat in the end. Cosgrave with a heavy touch, but the shots could be going 4-2 down there, Steve.
Yeah, that was, I think, poor from Levi there. He got the wrong side. He allowed Cosgrave to get the inside of him, and he was pulling his shirt. There was a danger of, either a penalty or a goal.
Another soft foul on halfway. Ryan Jones coming into contact with Bolger, and now Franklin Domi has asked for a stoppage so he can retie his shoelaces. And listen, nobody can blame Ebbsfleet, who've only led twice at half time in the National League this year, and they stand on the edge of doing so for a third time here at the EBB. Passley manages to hook the ball in. It's headed out by Woodhouse to Domi. He's into the penalty area. Keane goes to ground and wins the ball inside the penalty area. It's cleared away only as far as Edsa. He checks back onto his right foot and then feeds Bolger. We are 13 seconds left of the first half here in terms of added time. Ball chased down by Passley. Can he keep it in? No is the answer. Goal kick to the shots, and we'll very shortly find out how much added time. There's going to be 2 added minutes. So Ebbsfleet, who have not won in 19 away games, just 5 points on the road all season, have only led twice at half-time, and Passley, who's just chased that ball going full on, couldn't keep it in, has then gone down again, Steve. And I think it wouldn't take a rocket scientist or a bookie to give you the odds on this one. No, I think there didn't seem to be any lingering after effects of the block challenge at the other end. He did stretch rather ungainly to keep the ball in or attempt to cross. He's getting a little massage to his right knee, and maybe the back of his right knee and top of his calf. I think he'll be okay. Yeah, he's having a little sip of drink. He'll have to wait now 30 seconds, of course, to come back on. We're pretty much starting the 2 added minutes now, listeners. Just gone 46 minutes. And 1 or 2 shouts from the touchline towards Passley, who's just grinning, limping and grinning. And still we wait to get underway. Now finally, 46.5 minutes in, so after a minute and a half stoppage, we restart play. So we can pretty much expect it to go to at least 48 minutes and 30 seconds. Armitage with the ball over the top. Barrett, he goes onto it. Wonderful touch. Plucks it out of the sky. Goes back to Cameron Hargreaves. And Hargreaves will come back to Armitage. So Aldershot back where they started. But it was a lovely ball through and a lovely take from Josh Barrett. Now Woodhouse and Keane. Keane Anderson sends it up towards Barham, but that's just cleared away. Levi Lang sends it forward with a header. Now he'll get it back again and he'll bring it under control and give the ball to Armitage. 47 minutes gone, so 90 seconds of added time left. Aaron Jones tries to pick a way forward and can't. And it looks as though the shots... wonderful touch and turn from Woodhouse to just get away from Domi. Comes down the left side. Now he continues his run and he leaves Cosgrave as well. Then plays it for Ryan Jones and gets the weight of the pass all wrong. But a couple of little lollipops there from Woodhouse. Wonderful, classy play from the Wickham loanee. Unfortunately, couldn't find the final pass.
No, he did everything right, and then the final pass was always overhit as soon as it left his foot. There was no way Ryan Jones or Jack Barham were going to get onto the end of that. But yeah, excellent play, and that is what Aldershot Town's back three are all about. That ball playing, bringing the ball out, first line of defence and first line of attack.
Here's Passley getting away from the clutches of Frost, sending the ball into the middle, and the back heel attempted by Moncur, cannoned off the boot of a Shots player and then into the path of Will Armitage, who sends it forward. Olagunju wins the header, Keane Anderson takes it down, and the referee blows his whistle for half-time in a rather bizarre first half in which we've seen 5 goals in the opening 29 minutes. The Shots twice taken the lead, twice pegged back, and now find themselves trailing at the break. Aldershot Town 2, Ebbsfleet United 3. Thank you, Sophia. We'll come to you in a minute, I think, Steve, rather than risk missing another link to radio.
No, that is fine.
So I'll just gather my thoughts here, and then we'll talk to the radio after John Barnett's update on Crawley Town, who are under new management today. New old management, yes, I think.
New old management, yeah. Good to hear JB's voice as well. I've not heard that for far too long. Yes,
and talking of familiar names, the one who's gone to Crawley alongside Scott Lindsay, did you see? Appointed assistant manager, Mr. Neil Smudger, has held that very same microphone.
Okay. I hadn't seen that.
Left Cray Wanderers, a league below the National League South, and has risen 4 divisions. So well done to him. Right, we're going to get ready to update our radio listeners now. Come on the posh.
So given Neil's new appointment, does that mean my job's safe for a while yet?
Unless we play Bromley or something, yeah. Greg, by the way, Thornett, thank you very much. He's just embellishing what you said. Ebbsfleet have actually scored 3 in a 4-3 defeat to Sutton in the FA Trophy this season.
I was only thinking league games.
And this is, of course, the first time in the National League that they've done so. But thank you, Greg. Lovely stat there.
Yeah.
It certainly has, and had I heard you previously I could have told you then, but I'll tell you now that Ebbsfleet, who've been behind twice, lead at half time. It's Aldershot Town 2, Ebbsfleet 3. The Shots taking the lead on 14 minutes. Lovely bit of skill from Ryan Jones, finding space inside the penalty area and then drilling a shot home via deflection. Within 2 minutes, Franklin Domi with a lovely shift and curled low finish past Dewhurst at the other end. And then I think the Shots took the lead again just 2 minutes after that. Jones involved again. Josh Barrett floating a little lobbed drive past Mark Cousins. And then after that, 6 minutes later, Monker's free kick was from a higher level by which he's come from. Curled it around the wall and into the corner, and 3 minutes later, confusion between 2 Aldershot centre-backs and Marcus Dewhurst. All 3 of them came to try and deal with a high bouncing ball. They collided with each other. The only man standing was Aaron Cosgrave, and he drove it into the empty net. Bizarre atmosphere, bizarre game, and we've averaged 4 goals a game here at the EBB this season. Well, Adrian, we're 1 above that, and it's only half time. Shots 2, Fleet 3. Right, Steve Gibbs, I've given the descriptive bit in terms of the goals of the first half. Tell us a little bit more about the match, the performances, the occasion.
Well, there's not much beyond that really. The first 14 minutes, there was nothing. After the 30th minute, nothing. In between, 5 goals, chaos, defensive mix-ups, brilliant football, superb finishes. Exactly the sort of game that you want to see, where teams forget to defend but score at will. Aldershot Town need to find their defensive qualities, because they have been all too easily exposed in this first half. Collectively and individually, they've been embarrassed. But going forward, there are more goals in this, and I wouldn't like to predict which net they're going in, but yeah, quite where Ebbsfleet go from here, I'm not really sure. Do they try and score more, or do they try and shut up shop? I would suggest that for them, attack is the only form of defence. They've got by far the worst defensive record in the National League, an outrageous negative goal difference, and they probably realise that Aldershot Town aren't really in the best defensive shape, so I think their fledgling manager's message will be fill your boots, go out and get some more. And it may be too little too late, but as I've said a few times already this afternoon, if they're going down, at least go down in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, I think there is a scenario today where even if they win, they could still go down. A reminder that Sutton drew 1-1 with Dagenham earlier on today. It's 0-0 between Fylde and Forest Green. Braintree 0, York 0 as well. Eastleigh 0, Southend 1. That goal coming in the first minute for Southend. Gateshead 0, Tamworth 0. Hartlepool 1, Boston 1. So Boston getting themselves level in that one. Maidenhead 0, Rochdale 1. Oldham 0, Halifax 0, Solihull 0, Yeovil 0 and Wealdstone 0, Woking 0. Not many goals about in the National League this afternoon. Aldershot substitutes are out and warming up. They are Van Staffordshire of Widrington, Corbett, Bray, Mullins, Henry and Uwakwe. And Ebbsfleet's bench has Felix Goddard, Rakesh Bingham, Don Polian, Ryan Carr, Elijah Anthony, Alex Orahara, Kwame Thomason. That's it really for the first half here at the EBB, where we've been blessed with plenty of goals, attacks on top, defences, well, nowhere to be seen really. Half time, Ebbsfleet are 3-2 up here at the EBB. Speak to you again soon.
Departure time for Wealdstone is 5:15 and the fare is £22 for members and £25 for non-members. For Rochdale, the coach departs at 8:30 and the cost is £47 for members and £50 for non-members. To book a place on either of those trips, please email the shopsawaytravelgroup@gmail.com.
We're just working out. It's the first time in the league, isn't it? 3 goals. We've done it at Sutton in the FA Trophy. Sorry? No, I mean it's bizarre. You notice that you turned all shot around for the first time. So they scored 3 goals at the favourite end. I mean that's one of the most comical goals I've seen in years. Not fun. I'm not 2 defenders and the keeper all collided today. You coming out of the yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure. I mean, imagine. No, exactly. Bizarre, then. You're tempted to say. You go down the high. You go down the high. All results still possible. I can't call it. Well, I noticed what surprised me is, considering how much that Ebbsfleet did behind us, how adept they were at the time waste at the end of the first half. It was like they just switched the light on. I mean, Passley got away with all of that, didn't he? No, it goes on, doesn't it? Teams do it. And I don't know if you had this stat or not, it's only the 3rd time all season they've led at half time. Really? 3rd time in the league, yeah. You must have done twice. You probably didn't hang on and win those games, I don't know. Last time, I didn't know how it felt. I've forgotten what it felt like to win. Honestly. psychologically, if it helps the player, it makes no difference. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fast.
No.
Really, just to keep momentum and keep the manager on top.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and ask Ellison.
Oh, yeah.
We've got quite a few birthday messages today. So first of all, happy 77th birthday to Nick Robbins, that's from your son James. Happy 11th birthday to Joseph Gilmore, who'll celebrate today with his parents and friends. Happy 12th birthday on Monday to one of today's mascots, Bradley, and also to another of our mascots, Oliver, who is 9 on Tuesday. Happy 7th birthday tomorrow to Noah Shearer, and please can you give a belated happy birthday message for Thursday the 20th of March to Marcus Drewhouse from all of his friends, fans and supporters at the Ebbsfleet Stadium.
Oh, okay, good.
For the benefit of our radio, or rather our online listeners, Ebbsfleet have returned to the pitch. We await Aldershot and the officials. Just for after the game, I'm pretty sure I'll be absolutely fine. Just if it was to, have you got your usual deadline?
Yeah.
I don't foresee it unless maybe it gets even worse and Tommy shuts it in there for half an hour or something. I've got to go to an iftar event with the family. It's 6:15 is the time I've got to be in Hounslow, so I've got to be out there by 5:30. I think I'll be fine. But I'm only concerned about if we get a really long one, a lock-in or something. You'll be beat by 5:30 if they haven't come out. You'll have virtually teed and dotted your report by then, won't you?
Yeah.
Although you'll have to go and doorstep Josh Wright as well.
Yeah.
I think what might have to go is, if necessary, if it gets really long, we might just have to see the manager go. We'll have to see. Should be fine. I think it'll be absolutely fine. We've got a slightly delayed start as well, haven't we? Yeah. Still, 2 minutes later, Ebbsfleet out and ready, and no sign of Aldershot. Here they come now. If today, for some reason, listeners, you weren't able to listen to the game in the first half and you're here for the second, well, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, you've missed 5 goals already. It's 3-2 to Ebbsfleet, who've come twice from behind and now lead. Bit of a bonkers opening 29 minutes. They also turned Aldershot round in the first half, so Aldershot scored 3 goals at the East Bank end and conceded 2 at the High Street end, and now they'll be attacking the High Street end. Both teams are out and ready to go, but still no sign of the referee. Where is he? Oh, he is. He's hiding behind Aaron Jones. There he is. He is on the pitch. All right, we're almost ready to go then in the second half here at the EBB Stadium. Aldershot 2, Ebbsfleet 3 as we kick off the second half. Toby Edser to get things underway for the Fleet. Referee William Davis gets us underway for the second half. Edser goes immediately back to Mangtalo, who pings it out to the right hand side. It's one in the air by Luca Woodhouse, headed back by O'Neill, and then we've got a bit of head tennis going on in the middle of the park. Referee allows Jones's foot to come up as Bolger's head went down. Aldershot clear forward. Levi Lang. Barrett tries to cushion the ball into the path of Barham, but I don't think he made much, if any, contact. Woodhouse wins the header. Levi Lang just pushes into the back of Cosgrave enough to allow the ball to sail over their heads. And would you believe it, after heading that ball, Luca Woodhouse is down, and so too is an Ebbsfleet player. I'm guessing, Steve, that Woodhouse got a lot of the ball and the bit of the Ebbsfleet player's head as well.
I think there were some afters as well.
Oh, I missed that
Yeah,
entirely.
I think there was a tangle of legs. I heard a cry of anguish from somebody. And yeah, I think Luca is up limping rather than feeling groggy.
He's up on his feet now, as is Franklin Domi. The pair of them. Oh, I thought Domi held his hand out to shake hands, but I think he was saying, "What did you do that for?" or something like that.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of afters there. Not quite sure who was to blame, but yeah, I don't think it was the attempted header that caused that incident.
Here's several players missing it, and then Aldershot play it forward through Lang. Ebbsfleet hook it back. Hargreaves arrives at the same time as Aaron Jones and Moncur, and eventually it's cleared forward. Aaron Jones' run just continues and comes into contact with Ben Chapman, who shows no fuss at all and just gets up and gets on with it. Here's Keane Anderson spreading the ball out to Aaron Jones. Back inside from him to Levi Lang. He's going to have to switch on the afterburners just to gather it in. Now feeds Tyler Frost. Ball down the left side from Frost, headed away by O'Neill, picked up by Hargreaves, who heads it into the path of Jack Barham, and Jack Barham is caught by the Ebbsfleet player. Free kick to the shots, just momentarily late, I think. Might have been Mangtalo, not 100% sure who it was. Steve, did you get a clear view?
I didn't, no.
But free kick, more importantly, to Aldershot, almost dead central. Probably 5 yards outside from the D. Jones is over it, Barrett's over it. I think we know who's going to have first dibs on this. We are just over 3 minutes into the second half. Aldershot Town 2, Ebbsfleet 3. Ryan Jones, left-footed, or Josh Barrett, right-footed. Plenty of players in the Ebbsfleet wall. There must be 6, if not 7. Barrett steps up and it hits the top of the wall. The wall does its job, and then Passley heads into touch, and he was very close to getting that up and over the wall, but Aldershot take the throw meantime. Aaron Jones into Ryan Jones, lovely ball in, headed away, no shots player there. Anderson competes for it in the air, but it's plucked out of the sky by an Ebbsfleet player and sent forward, and Aaron Jones will exchange passes with Marcus Dewhurst, and they're coming together off the ball between Passley and Aaron Jones. I didn't see what happened, I didn't get a clear view at all, but there was a strong reaction from the north stand. You didn't come to us, did you, Adrian? No, so I just heard this eerie silence in my ear. I can't tell you, listeners, what happened. Steve, did you?
No, I didn't, I'm afraid, either.
Definitely a coming together between Aaron Jones and Josh Passley. There was a little bit up here a couple of minutes ago, but I'm so sorry I didn't get a clear view of it, and we don't have the benefit of a replay. If any of our regular listeners are watching on NLTV as well, I know sometimes you sync up the commentary and the footage. Maybe you could see what happened there in that incident. It's Passley who's still down and holding his head, and we've no idea what happened, or indeed, Steve, and I'm not suggesting this, but we can't rule it out, if anything happened at all.
Yeah, I think there was a coming together. The ferocity or instigator of it, I can't really vouch.
Well, either way, the referee, William Davis, is going to restart play by dropping it. Thank you. You're going to restart play by dropping the ball at the feet of Will Armitage. And Josh Passley will start another 30-second countdown before he can come back on to play, or potentially be replaced. Here's Barham chasing a lost cause, and that might well be the end of Josh Passley's afternoon. So whether that's a continuation of something that happened in the first half or a fresh injury, well, I've absolutely no idea, but he has now been replaced by Elijah Anthony. And what do we know? Well, we're going to update our radio listeners here first. They haven't, and it's been a scrappy start to the second half. We're only 6 minutes in, Adrian, and we've had a couple of stoppages of play already, and Josh Passley has had to go off. He's been replaced by Elijah Anthony for Ebbsfleet, and there's been no real clear-cut efforts to tell you about in the second half so far, which, as I say, is only 6.5 minutes old, which means it remains Aldershot Town 2, Ebbsfleet 3. There's a good tackle. No, I thought it was a good tackle from Levi Lang on the edge of the penalty area. He thinks he's got the ball. Referee Will Davis says no, you didn't. Free kick to Ebbsfleet, and now they have an opportunity in a very similar position to which the shots had at the other end a couple of minutes ago, Steve.
Yeah, I agree with you. My initial instinct was he's won the ball, but Domi certainly Domi went down. Certainly was claiming for a free kick, and yeah, maybe he did take some of the man as well as the ball, Levi Lang, but it looked a solid tackle to me. And just to fill in, Elijah Anthony can play either side, but an attacking fullback, so pretty much a straight swap for Passley.
Free kick then is taken, and that's into the wall as well by George Moncur. He couldn't find a way around it this time, but they've won the ball again, and they're going to send it back in via O'Neill and wide of the goal and behind the goal away to our left. If Aldershot were hoping to come out and hit the ground running for this second half and get some real momentum going, Steve, one way or another, they've not been able to get it.
They haven't, no. They need to lift it pretty much every area of the pitch. More solidity defensively, bit more cohesion going forward.
Barrett playing the ball through the middle. Barham goes down off the ball. Referee running alongside them, didn't see anything untoward. Ebbsfleet restart play with Cousins up to O'Neill. Poor pass from him, cut out quite comfortably by Luca Woodhouse, and now picked up by Cameron Hargreaves, who's making his way down the left-hand side. Barrett with a heavy touch, just keeps it in on the left-hand side and sprays it out to Luca Woodhouse. Woodhouse can feed Aaron Jones, the shots skipper, who's going to clip a ball into the right channel, looking for Ryan Jones. Has one touch just inside the penalty area and he's trying to win it back, and he does well to get a touch to keep the ball in play. It's played forward, wonderful touch by Moncur, but then he's out muscled and dispossessed by Aldershot, and then Cosgrave feels a bit of contact on his back of his shirt, throws himself down and wins a free kick for Ebbsfleet. I can't tell you it was any other way, listeners and viewers, because it was right in front of us and we could see it clear as a bell.
Yeah, I think Aaron
He's
Jones
entitled to feel the contact and go down. It's just the spectacular way in
there
which he did
definitely
it.
was contact from Aaron Jones there, who was doing his level best to get around the side of the player, kind of coming from behind, and then take the long route around him to win the ball. And yeah, there was definitely contact.
Here's Manktelow pinging a free kick from just inside his own half right out onto the right wing. It's headed on by the head of Franklin Domi, or it might have even been Elijah Anthony, actually couldn't quite see from here, but it's gone behind the goal away to our left. For our radio listeners, I gave you some half-time scores. You're well capable, I'm sure, of checking them yourself, but my phone hadn't updated and a few goals have now populated that weren't there before. Filder 1-0 up against Forest Green Rovers. Braintree 1, York 1, Eastleigh 1, Southend 2. Hartlepool 2-1 up against Boston. Maidenhead have equalised against Rochdale. Oldham were 1-0 up against Halifax. Yeovil 2-0 up at Solihull Moors, and it is 0-0 in the other two games. Altrincham played Barnet at 5:30. Here, in a game in which, if they were to lose, they would be relegated, Ebbsfleet lead by 3-2. Hargreaves hooking the ball over his head. Frost jumps with Anthony. Anthony gets the contact. Throw in to shots halfway inside their own half on the left-hand side. I'm not sure whether one would have wanted to be a fly on the wall in the Aldershot dressing room at half-time or not. Maybe out of intrigue, yes. But most important thing really is that Aldershot play what's in front of them, which is half a game of football against a side who've conceded the most goals in the division, and try and get a point or three out of it, Steve.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time left, still plenty of football left to be played. Aldershot Town have absolutely got enough out there, regardless of what may come off the bench. The starting 11 have got enough to draw them, to dig themselves out of the hole that they've got themselves into, and at the moment that's pretty much what it is. They've been complicit in at least one of the goals. For all of Ebbsfleet's good finishing, Aldershot Town have made it far too easy for their opposition.
Barham coming back from an offside position there is flagged offside. As he took the ball down, there were three players in white shirts behind him, but he actually holds his hand up to acknowledge that himself. No dissent from him, but I think he got a little bit of stick possibly from Josh Barrett, just reminding him that you've got to stay on side at all times. Ebbsfleet play the ball down the right. It's one in the air by Woodhouse, and I guess Ebbsfleet would quite like a sort of non-eventful, quiet second half, wouldn't they, Steve? And who could blame them? Yeah,
and it's up to Aldershot Town, who are about to bring on James Henry. It's up to Aldershot Town to make sure that it's everything but that it's difficult, it's uncomfortable, it's challenging.
Here's Ryan Jones picking up a 50-50 ball in the middle of the park, playing it forward, and the pass isn't right, and Ebbsfleet will survive. It was a wonderful 3-against-3 opportunity for the shots, and the shots are ready in the substitution appearance of James Henry, so that will potentially strengthen the hand. Here's Woodhouse sending it forward. O'Neill goes down, and now he's rolling around. Free kick to Ebbsfleet. Jones momentarily late in the challenge, and I think this is something we're going to have to get used to in the second half, Steve.
It is. Yeah, I think O'Neill will be absolutely fine to continue, and in their position you can't blame Ebbsfleet for trying to manage the game, to wind the clock down, to delay restarts. This would only be a third league win of the season. You can't you can't blame them for anything else.
Just a little update on Levi Lang, by the way. We only found out briefly before the game about his signing. He's actually signed as a non-contract player. He's not on loan from West Ham. He's left West Ham, and this has been confirmed by the Aldershot Town Secretary. Okay, Levi Lang's debut has ended in the 59th minute, and James Henry has come on. So I would now expect Aaron Jones to fall into the back three, Tyler Frost to come out to the left-hand side, Ryan Jones, beg your pardon, Frost to the right-hand side, Ryan Jones to the left, and James Henry into the number 10 position. Steve, concur?
I do.
Okay, can Aldershot spark themselves into life in this second half? There's a good win from Woodhouse. He feeds Ryan Jones, and Aaron Jones feeds Tyler Frost on the left-hand side. It's cut out by Ben Chapman, who's a player who can get forward and does get forward to great quality, but his first and foremost job this afternoon, like the majority of this season, has been defensive. Wonderful player on his day. Here's Aldershot with the throw-in between Frost and Keane. And Jones is in a natural position on the left side of midfield. Frost in one on the right-hand side. And Henry certainly in one. Here's Ryan Jones trying to get the ball in. That's cut behind. Corner to the Shots. I think it's just their third of the afternoon, Steve, isn't it? The Shots.
I've got it as their second. Maybe I'd.
Oh, you definitely. Yeah, there was definitely two in the first half. I wrote two now, so
in
three.
In that case, yes, third.
Three. Yeah, it's normally me who misses the odd one. Here's Josh Barrett. So an hour gone here. Shots to Ebbsfleet 3. Ebbsfleet quickly responding twice when behind. Can the Shots respond next? In comes the corner, headed away by Olangonju. Back in from Frost, back across from Will Armitage, and then volleyed up in the air by Luca Woodhouse, who got completely underneath it and sliced it away from the target when it looked, Steve, easier to steer on target.
I think he was stretching for it. I think he was always underneath it. Yes, he should have done better probably, but for a centre half trying to pounce on a dropping ball, it maybe wasn't the worst effort.
There are 116 Ebbsfleet fans this afternoon who've seen their side score 3 goals in the league for the first time all season. Amongst an overall crowd, a very healthy one actually, of 2,685, which despite the relatively low away attendance numbers is above the average for the season. So well done to all who've turned out this afternoon, and they've been well entertained. They've seen 5 goals. Will they see more? Here's Dewhurst kicking it straight down the middle from his own area. Frost heading the ball into the passage of James Henry, who plays it into the path of Tyler Frost. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. Can he get a cross in? It's just faded a little bit and hits the side netting. Did so well to make the run to get onto the ball, and he couldn't quite make his cross count, Steve. 2-3, 62 minutes gone.
Yeah, good input from James Henry as well. He was being buffeted, pushed off balance, but he still managed to get the deft little touch that sent Tyler scampering down the right hand side. I think his first touch was also a little bit off balance, a little bit heavy, and yeah, I thought initially that maybe the cross had got a slight deflection as it drifted behind, but no, it was just the curl on the ball. But yeah, good endeavour from Tyler, just needs that final delivery.
Here's Aldershot winning the ball on halfway. Anderson plays it into the path of Ryan Jones, who skipped past one, he skipped past another. Now he's going to ping it out to the right hand side to Tyler Frost, who takes this one down on his chest. He's got a run on the outside of him from Henry. Barrett on the inside gives it to Frost, goes for a return pass, but here's Aaron Jones and now Cameron Hargreaves on the ball. Into Henry. Henry's just pushed off it by Edser and then nibbles away to win it back. Edser goes down, is caught and thinks about a bit of play acting, but then gets to his feet. And we're going to see another substitution for Aldershot Town now. Keane Anderson coming off, and Theo Widrington back into the fray in the 63rd, 64th minute, a little earlier than we expected. And old heads certainly required out there. Not that he's that old.
No, absolutely not. No, maybe he looks a little bit older than he is, but yes, experienced. Hopefully, a calming, steady head from Theo, who absolutely, given the distress he was in and the circumstances in which he left the pitch a few weeks ago, it's very heartening to see that he's even available for selection so soon.
Okay, here's Aldershot coming through the middle. Good first touch from Theo Widrington, helps it into the path of Jack Barham, and Aldershot keep possession. It's brightening up here. We've got a little bit of fluffy light blue cloud now, if you get my drift. Widrington sends it out to the left for Ryan Jones to get onto, and he's taken out quite heavily by Elijah Anthony, and that will be at least a yellow. It is a yellow in a game where the referee hasn't really had to show it. It was a bit of a wild lunge, wasn't it? But a strong yellow for me. Steve, what do you think?
Absolutely agree. I think he was the error was provoked by Ryan Jones's excellent first touch. He took it on the half bounce, drove towards the penalty area. Anthony had to just make some effort, a vain effort, to stop him, and in the end, took Ryan Jones out. And I think Ryan is perhaps somewhat fortunate that there wasn't any lasting damage from that challenge, but at least Aldershot Town have the opportunity to whip in a dangerous ball from what in hockey might be called a short corner.
That's it. 65 minutes just elapsed now. Shots 2, Ebbsfleet 3. Free kick out on the left. Josh Barrett sends it in. Knocked down, appeals for handball, and the referee gives the penalty. Huge shouts of handball from around the ground, which the referee couldn't ignore. I didn't see anything clearly. Aldershot haven't had a penalty in absolutely ages, Steve, but it's been given, and at the moment at least Josh Barrett has the ball in his hands.
Yeah, handball for me. A clumsy challenge, and I think it might have been Elijah Anthony again, who was having conceded the free kick, picked up a yellow card. He then gives away the penalty with the clumsy raised arms challenge, and Josh Barrett has ceded penalty duties. Tyler Frost very confidently has stepped up and taken responsibility, taken the ball. It'll be him against Mark Cousins.
Yeah, Frost, who took a couple of penalties, I think, in pre-season and finished them. We're in the 67th minute here. Frost against Cousins, and he buries it low. Back-to-back goals in back-to-back games, and the James Maddison celebration of throwing the dart comes out again. Sorry, Frosty, it was Maddison's originally, but a well-taken penalty nevertheless. Puts the shots level in the 66th minute. Aldershot Town 3, Ebbsfleet United 3.
Aldershot Town needed to lift it in the second half. They had, but barely, and now they've been given an unexpected lifeline with that penalty. A clumsy aerial challenge, definite handball for me. I think the referee did really well to take his time, to consider his options, to consider what he'd seen, and then a really composed penalty from Tyler Frost. Cousins went the right way, still wouldn't have got to it. Low, composed, into that bottom right corner. 3-3, game on.
Yeah, and I seem to remember James Henry tucking a penalty away at some point this season, but Shots haven't had too many, have they? They really haven't, and
no.
Whether Frost was playing in that game or not, I think Frost may have been the nominated penalty taker, and Henry second in that list. There's Frost putting his foot around Ben Chapman, giving away a free kick. Now the referee wants a word with somebody. Not sure who he's talking to. Thank you. And we're going to see a finisher from last season for Aldershot coming on to finish the game for Ebbsfleet, and you'll have probably worked out by now that is Kwame Thomas, who's going to come on for Ebbsfleet. who've got themselves a free kick out on the left side, halfway inside their own half here. We'll update our radio listeners very shortly with the news of that 6th goal of the game at the EBB this afternoon. Cousins takes the free kick forward. Will Armitage lets the ball over his head, and then he has to hook it over because it doesn't have enough pace on it to go behind the goal. And it will be a throw in to Ebbsfleet. Mankalo plays the ball in. Sharp turn. Cleared forward, yeah. We have just had the first goal of the second half, and it came from the penalty spot. It came from Tyler Frost after a handball by Ebbsfleet. It's 3-3 now. The shot's on the attack again. Ryan Jones sending the ball in. James Hendry's got the ball stuck under his feet on the edge of the penalty area, but Aaron Jones recycles it. A better atmosphere in the ground now. Here's another cross in from Frost, and that one will be cleared away to safety by Ebbsfleet. But the game's reignited. In fact, they've got the ball back on the edge of the area. Stay with us a little bit longer. Barrett with the shot just over the bar. Adrian, we do love to bring you a live goal if we can. 6 in the game this afternoon, 3 either way. 20.5 minutes to go for one of these two sides to try and find a winner. Just a reminder, by the way, the Shots are looking for a 6th win in 7, and Ebbsfleet, if they don't win this afternoon, are probably down. Right, Kwame Thomas comes on. It's a straight swap for Aaron Cosgrave up top. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, a bit part player at Ebbsfleet this season, but always ready to make an impact. 2 goals, but his impact is greater than his goal output, as Aldershot Town fans saw last season. But yeah, he's going to put himself about that young Aldershot Town back three, that makeshift back three, will know that they've been in the game in the final 20 minutes.
Here's Aaron Jones sending a ball forward, which Olagunju can only put into touch. Prior to that, the first header that Armitage and Kwame Thomas went for, and Armitage leapt up really early in front of him, a little too early, but the throw's taken from Frost back to Aaron Jones, inside to Widrington. The appearance of James Henry and Theo Widrington has inspired Aldershot. They're back in this, they're on the front foot again now. Here's Ryan Jones picking up the ball, sending it to Armitage on halfway. And now Aaron Jones can think about coming forward. Josh Barrett had run into a little pocket of space, but it's closed again now. And now Jones, Widrington and Frost combining. Inside now to Hargreaves, who just pops away from his man Domi. And Aaron Jones squares it back across the other side and picks a load of mud out of his studs as he slipped as he did so. And Ryan Jones sends the ball down to an overlapping Luca Woodhouse, who sends it inside to James Henry. He turns, goes back to Hargreaves. He's had the ball twice on the edge of the area, Henry, and if he'd had the vision, he might have had an opportunity. There's a ball inside from Woodhouse. Back to Theo Widrington. Josh Barrett, edge of the area, feeds it to Tyler Frost. He's going to have a run to the area, drives it across. Ryan Jones steers it towards goal, and as it looked as if it was about to cross the line, Mark Cousins fell on it and saved it. A vital last-ditch save from Mark Cousins there. Lovely good move from the Shots, and it remains 3-3, Steve.
Yeah, Shots starting to lift it, starting to exert some pressure on the Ebbsfleet goal. A routine save from Cousins, but what made it less than routine was that it came through a crowd. Jones didn't catch it as cleanly as he'd have liked, but
Barrett onto Henry to the edge of the area, holds it up, tries to make his way in. He's been dispossessed, but he's won it back. Feeds it to Barrett, squares it across to Cameron Hargreaves, and then Hargreaves at a second attempt couldn't quite get it under control. The ball's played up to Kwame Thomas. Overlapping run from Moncur. Checks inside to get away from Aaron Jones. The Shot's really on the edge of something in the last 2 or 3 minutes, but not been able to just get the final link, the final pass, the final shot. Here's Manktalo playing the ball up to Moncur. He's been well shackled by Aaron Jones. Jones wins a free kick as Moncur pushes him. and Aldershot take it quickly through Armitage to Theo Widrington. The game's going to only open up more and more in these final minutes. Widrington surging through the middle, plays the ball forward. It's cut out by Olagunju, cleared away only as far as Luca Woodhouse. He'll ping it out to Tyler Frost on this right hand side. Ebbsfleet throwing a bit of caution to the wind in search of a winner. They know a draw might not be good enough today. Aldershot on the attack. Frost, Aaron Jones, keep it moving, keep the tempo up is the call from Shots boss Tommy Widrington. Here's Aaron Jones playing it into Henry, clips the ball out to the right touchline to Tyler Frost. He then feeds Theo Widrington. Josh Barrett, Aaron Jones is going to ping the ball out to Ryan Jones, who's waiting on the left. He's waiting to try and trick his way past, and he does. He's into the area, squares it, shot comes in, half cleared again, and then Barham gets the faintest of touches, but that's too faint, and it carries on across the goal mouth. Aldershot coming so close on 3 or 4 occasions now in 5 minutes. Aaron Jones finds Hargreaves out to Barrett. Woodhouse is still in the middle, Henry's still in the middle, touch and pings it back to Aaron Jones. He has to trot back to halfway to get the ball, and then up towards Hargreaves. Sharp turn from him, senses his man's tight on him, he can get by him, spins him, feeds Barrett. Tyler Frost with the cross to the far post, and it's just too long for Woodhouse, but it'll be picked up by Ryan Jones. Ebbsfleet must feel Aldershot have got 13 players on the pitch. In it comes to the far post. Barham can't quite get on it. My goodness me, terrific 6, 7, 8 minutes of pressure from the shots. Barrett inside to Widrington, cross into the far post, and it's over everybody and drifts behind the goal away to our right. And the shots in scintillating form in possession now, Steve, but they can't find a finish. 75 and a half minutes gone. Aldershot Town 3, Ebbsfleet United 3.
Shots lifting it even more than they had a couple of minutes ago. Ryan Jones has got Elijah Anthony on toast. Anthony must wish that he wasn't brought on. Brilliant play from Jones in the build-up to that chance. The ball's dropping, half volley, just a flip inside. Anthony's continuing out to the touchline. Jones is already on his way into the penalty area. Tommy Widrington's message to his players for the remaining 15 or so minutes: get the ball out to Ryan Jones. That way, Aldershot Town will win the game.
There's a coming together between Woodhouse and Kwame Thomas. Woodhouse wins the free kick, and while all that was happening, for the benefit of our radio listeners, Dom Polian has come on for Ebbsfleet. Now Frost and Chapman briefly collide, going for a 50-50 ball on the touchline. Was it Franklin Domi that went off for I think it was, wasn't it? I can't see him on the pitch. Dom Polian, yes. 34 goals in the National League South a couple of seasons ago, and healthy double figures last season, but it's not been his season this time. A yellow card being shown to Tommy Widrington. I'm not quite sure what for.
I think protesting the that challenge there between with Tyler Frost and the Ebbsfleet player again, eking out a few more seconds.
Free kicks taken forward. Armitage gets a knockdown. Monka gets the chance to try a clipped lob finish, but he gets it all wrong and it goes wide. But as much as you were talking while that substitution was made about if Aldershot do this and the game will be won, Ebbsfleet are bringing on their very own match winner in Dom Polian. Yeah, it's not been his season, but what he'd give you for a half chance in the final 13 minutes.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I don't know whether he's fallen out of form, whether he's not getting the service, but if you give him the service in the right areas, then yeah, he can still punish you.
Here's a 50-50 in the middle of the park. Kwame Thomas clips it round the corner. Hargreaves brings it down and goes back to Armitage. He's been shut down by Kwame Thomas. He then shuts down Aaron Jones, who sensed his challenge was coming. And here is Armitage sending it out to Luca Woodhouse, who's making his way down the inside left channel. We've got 12 minutes left plus added time. He's gone for the return pass from Ryan Jones. Plays it off the Ebbsfleet player. No, he doesn't. The Ebbsfleet player is Toby Ed, so he doesn't make contact. And it drifts harmlessly out of play behind the goal away to our right. 11 and a half minutes plus whatever's added. Aldershot Town 2, Ebbsfleet United 3. And goal kick to Mark Cousins. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, Thomas and Polion, you think that would be the absolute perfect attacking partnership. They've got, between them, they've got pretty much everything. Kwame Thomas, the physical target man, and Polion, the arch poacher. If they can combine, then absolutely, as much as I think Aldershot Town have a way to win this game, Ebbsfleet are not out of it yet.
No, there's a ball poked forward by Moncur. It was more of a clearance, but it was chased down, and ultimately Marcus Dewhurst has snaffled it. He's on the edge of his penalty area now, and he will play it short to Aaron Jones, who'll go back inside to Will Armitage, who incidentally is playing as the central of the three now, with Luca Woodhouse on the left. Here's Theo Whittington under pressure from Polion. Goes back to Will Armitage. It's been a strange game, strange day, and who knows how it might end. Here's Toby Edser picking up the ball with a bit of space in midfield. Now he's coming up against Cameron Hargreaves, and he can only play the ball into the path of Manctolo. He's making good ground forward though to the edge of the area now, and then he turns back. Edser under pressure from Hargreaves, manages to find Ben Chapman. He plays the ball around the corner. That will go straight through to Marcus Dewhurst. Who's got the nous? Who's got the character? Who's got the little bit of finesse? There's a ball from Whittington out to the right hand side. Can Barham keep it in? Is he onside? He is. He's played it off of the Ebbsfleet player, runs along the line, now plays it back to Tyler Frost. He's inside the penalty area, plays it across to Cameron Hargreaves. Hargreaves plays it across for Barrett. Shot comes in, deflected, headed back across goal by Barham and wide. And the half chances are coming and going almost every other minute now, Steve Gibbs. It remains 3-3, 9.5 minutes to go, and we're going to have a fresh face onto the pitch for either side.
Yeah, Kai Corbett coming on for Aldershot Town, and looks like, who is it? Ryan Carr, an Ipswich Town loanee, will be coming on for Ebbsfleet, replacing Moncur. Midfield, that attacking midfield position is one of the many positions that Carr has in his locker, so I expect that'll be a straight swap. And for Aldershot Town, Kai Corbett on for Jack Barham.
Yeah, it's the end of Jack's afternoon. He gets the usual strong round of applause. But Kai Corbett, wearing the number 9 of Aldershot Town, you got 9.5 minutes plus added time to make your mark in this game. The script is written for a forward coming on to this game. Polion knows that already. He's already on. Yeah. So too now does Kai Corbett. 3-3, 8.5 minutes to go here. Fresh substitutions on in attack for both sides, and all to play for. Ebbsfleet, who might need to win today to stay up in the National League for at least one more week, and Aldershot, who just want to keep their winning run going. They're coming forward now through Cameron Hargreaves. But yeah, we've got 8 minutes left. Aldershot Town 3, Ebbsfleet United 3. Free kick to shots on halfway.
Yeah, that was a yellow for Don Polion.
Thank you, well spotted,
in pulling Cameron Hargreaves back. It was the only way that Polion could keep pace with Hargreaves.
Here's Frost sending the ball down the right side for Corbett, who tries to protect himself a little bit. Gets a bit of contact from behind by Chapman, but the referee, I think, understandably thinking, well, the ball's passage didn't change. It continued on its way. And I think Corbett was protecting himself, expecting the challenge, which didn't really come from Chapman, did it? It was minor shirt brushing contact, no more.
Yeah, I think so. I think absolutely Kai anticipated the challenge, which never really materialised. But as Aldershot Town, that their attack before the dual substitution, Theo Widrington, as soon as Marcus Dewhurst got the ball, Theo recognised that he was in space, flagged up to Dewhurst that he wanted the ball, and in the blink of an eye, defence turned into attack, and it was all using Theo Widrington as that fulcrum in midfield.
Here's Ebbsfleet going to ping a long ball in from the right from O'Neill. It's headed up in the air by Frost, and he'll chase his own header, but his next touch is with his head, and it's too strong, and it disappears into touch. Looking at, interestingly, Josh Wright not in any hurry to get the ball back to Chapman, and it may be like he almost senses like Ebbsfleet are hanging on, but they've got nothing to lose right now, have they? So they may as well go for it. Here they are on the edge of the area, and Carr gets in, and he's a bit of pushing and shoving, and eventually Woodhouse clears, and Barrett moves nicely onto a ball on the left side, tries to play it forward, he's caught late, he thinks he's been fouled. Referee says Corbett's got the ball, you can continue in possession of it. Sends it inside now to Hargreaves, who's made a run into the air, back heel into Barrett. Oh, Barrett squared it for Henry, and he just got the touch wrong, but it was a lovely move. Ebbsfleet clear it to halfway. Luca Woodhouse will ping it out to the right side for Frost, who will just hold it up with his chest and then play it into the path of Henry. Henry gives it back to him, perfect touch. Frost could have crossed it, but he'll elect to come across to Hargreaves. Hargreaves back to Frost. The problem is they've got lots of players this near side, and if they do put a cross in, not too many to get on the end of it. Here it goes to Frost, he drills it across, it's cleared away by Toby Edser. Throw into the Shots, who are knocking on the door with 5 1/4 minutes left, 3-3.
Yeah, they've been knocking on the door for much of the second half.
Here's Aaron Jones sending a cross in. That one's headed away. Ryan Jones scampers away to the left to get the ball under control. Goes back to Luca Woodhouse. Will he set up a cross? No, he gives it back to Ryan Jones. He's taken on Anthony again. Skips back, slips over, loses possession. And Anthony clears it forward off of Jones. Don't know if it'll find touch or not, but Kwame Thomas barges in and gives a foul away. He can't believe it, but it's his usual physicality that's been deemed to have been illegal. Here's Aaron Jones pinging it out to the right hand side. Frost can't take it cleanly. Carr will chase the loose ball, but Aaron Jones will get there first. Pings it down the right hand side. It's headed inside by Mankalo, and then Hargreaves is caught, plays the ball down the right side to Kai Corbett. Will he send it in first time looking for Henry? He does, but it's well blocked by Alagonju. And now Frost has won it, and he gets away from his man. He's got to the byline, sends it across. Cries of handball not given. The ball's half cleared. Corbett involved. Back into Corbett in the penalty area. Now sends it to Theo Widrington on the edge. Can Aldershot make and take one final chance in these remaining 4 minutes plus added time and secure all 3 points here this afternoon? Armitage sends it out to the right hand side, finds Frost to Theo Widrington. Frost looking to take on Carr, then he's lost out, been beaten by the combined efforts of Carr and Chapman. Carr turns, feeds the ball to Chapman, little clip round the corner, and then a heavy touch from Kwame Thomas, who gets some ironic jeers from the Shots faithful. Aldershot take the throw quickly inside via Cameron Hargreaves. It's a time for calm heads. It's also a time for nerves of steel and touch, technique. Who can make a difference in these final minutes? Ball clipped down the left hand side by Ryan Jones is picked off by Ebbsfleet, and then they put it behind the goal for a corner. Both sides are going to be physically and mentally fatigued now, Steve.
Yeah, the Shots have steadily been raising it in this second half. So far, they only have an equaliser to show for it.
Corner taken short from Barrett to Ryan Jones. He's running against his men. He's going to drill it across. Oh, Luca Woodhouse is shot wide from 7 yards. Follow-up shot from Widrington is blocked. Headers go up. Widrington's down, holding his head. Frost sends it back in, and it will be caught underneath his bar by Cousins. Theo Widrington is holding his head, but he's getting up to his feet, and I think he's okay. And my goodness me, half chance after half chance, and the ball is with Cousins, who's kept it so. In fact, the referee must have blown his whistle. He'll have to give it back to Cousins to get going. And Aldershot could have been poor, created one chance and taken it. In all honesty, Steve, they've been exhilarating in and around the final third for about 15 minutes now, but have done everything but scored.
Yeah, Yeah, on another day they could have found a winner. There's still time. There's still a couple of minutes of normal time, plus what I would suggest would be a not insignificant amount of stoppage time.
Luca Woodhouse has been dispossessed. One back though by Hargreaves, and now it's one back by Bolger for Ebbsfleet. They're going down the right hand side with Anthony. Sends it across. It's horrendous. There's no other word for it. It's too high, it's too far behind the goal. Goal kick to the shot, to Aldershot Town. Man of the match, I think, is a really easy pick today. And the official man of the match is Tyler Frost, who has scored for the second game running. He's scored with a penalty. I must admit, I did think there was an inevitability about it today, that it would be Ryan Jones, so that one surprised me. But plenty of contenders, Steve, and that's what we like.
Yeah, no, I think Tyler has been very good. That my decision would not have been Tyler, but that's not a criticism of his performance. I think he's been really excellent in a couple of positions. It's just, for me, there's been one player who has been outstanding.
Ball through the middle will go all the way after a couple of bounces through to Mark Cousins. And it remains 3-3. We've got 30 seconds plus whatever's added here. And a game that's had lots and lots of moments. Surely isn't going to end with an anticlimax, is it? There's a ball. Yeah, it's 3-3. We've got 12 seconds plus whatever's added. And during this update, I'm sure we'll be able to tell you how much time is going to be added. And the last 15 minutes, literally Aldershot, one touch, passing moves all in and around the Ebbsfleet area. They've been exhilarating to watch, Adrian, but they've not been able to find a finish. We're going to have a stunning just 3 minutes of added time, Adrian. So join us again for the final score. We're expecting 5 or 6. It's only 3, and it remains 3-3. Is Will Armitage sending the ball out to the left-hand side, headed up in the air by Anthony. And we've had a few stoppages in play in this second half, quite a few at the start of the second half, Steve, and it's almost like the referee's forgotten them, because 3 minutes these days is near enough the minimum you'd ever have. Here's Carr, good control in the middle of the park, finds Anthony on the right hand side, or via Anthony, and then Aldershot trying to push Ebbsfleet back, but Cousins will send it forward. Armitage jumps and beats Kwame Thomas. Widrington heads it on. Ebbsfleet, as Armitage comes through a little clumsily and gives a free kick away. What an opportunity here for Ebbsfleet. Just over 1 minute into a minimum of 2 added minutes. I'm hearing that Wealdstone are beating Woking by 1 goal to nil there. Here it's 3-3. Never underestimate the value of a point, they say. Both sides have got one at the minute. Both sides want all 3. O'Neill sends it in. Thomas sends it across. Woodhouse heads it away onto Jones, who can only head it into the path of Edser. He's going to get the ball in on the byline. An offside's been given. Aldershot will get the free kick and possibly one opportunity to create one last chance in this game. They led 1-0. They led 2-1. They trailed 3-2 and they got back to 3-3. Flicker, header on. Bounces awkwardly. It was a backward header from Manktelow, and for a moment it looked as though James Henry might get in, but it had plenty of pace on it, and it bounced up and into Cousins, and he'd have been grateful to have clutched that before Henry got onto it.
Yeah, if it had dropped any earlier, it would have been a much more interesting race there, but no, Cousins was quick off his line.
Here's Aaron Jones, who is just beaten to it by the touch of Carr, who's been really impressive coming on. But Carr's touch goes into touch, and it'll be a throw which Aldershot take quickly from Aaron Jones to Dewhurst, who's going to send it long down the right hand side, and it's missed by both Manktelow and Corbett. It eventually drifts into touch. Believe it or not, we've only got 25 seconds left. You don't want this one to end, whatever the result. You want it to keep going, but the referee's allowed very little added time. Wouldn't surprise me if he blows quickly on the 3 minutes as well. Clearly got somewhere else to be today, only showing 3 added minutes after a plethora of substitutions from both sides. Ben Chapman's got the ball. Ebbsfleet may need more than a draw to stay up today. Aldershot are desperate for all 3 points as well. Ball's headed inside. Widrington on to Frost. onto Corbett. The ball's cleared up in the air. The final whistle goes, and Kai Corbett volleys the ball away. And it's ended 3-3 here. A rather bizarre game. The Shots led twice and then trailed for a long time, but got back level thanks to Tyler Frost's penalty. Earlier goals coming from Ryan Jones and Josh Barrett is 15th in all competitions. Full credit to Ebbsfleet for 13 minutes in the first half in which they scored all of their goals. It's a point apiece here at the EBB. Aldershot Town 3, Ebbsfleet United 3. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, Aldershot Town will come out of that one feeling they should have taken all 3 points. Ebbsfleet, if they are going down this afternoon, at least they went down with a fight. Tommy Windrington not happy with the referee and or the fourth official at I think various grievances, but particularly the amount of time added on at the end of the game. But 3-3, maybe a fair result. Aldershot Town certainly will. They dominated the second half, had enough to have won it. But an entertaining afternoon nonetheless.
And I may have inferred earlier on who I thought was my man of the match, the official man of the match, and very hard-working performance and a vital pressure penalty to get a point for Shots from Tyler Frost. But who's your Aldershot Town man of the match, Steve Gibbs?
Same as yours, Ryan Jones.
Thank you very much, Steve Gibbs. Ebbsfleet acknowledge the support of the 116 over on the far side and probably don't know at this very moment in time whether that point is enough to keep them in the National League for another week. According to the live league table, it looks to me as if with 7 games to go, Ebbsfleet are 22 points off safety. So I think, Steve,
that is
it is the official goodbye to Ebbsfleet United, relegated this afternoon.
Yeah, and we often talk about the small margins in football. It's not really been that over the course of the season. Ebbsfleet aren't in touch with the teams above them, particularly when you've got a team like Boston, who are one of the form teams in the whole division at the moment. Ebbsfleet simply, either by virtue of quality or confidence or management or injuries, they've not been good enough. But they're already building for next season, and they will once again, as they were 2 seasons ago when they were by far and away the best team in National League South, they will look to come straight back up. They've already got some quality players for that level, and you wish them well, and you hope that Josh Wright will still be around to guide them through National League South.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, Sophia. Stand by, I think Sophia said. Yeah, I'm all good, Sophia, when you're ready. Thank you. Sorry? Surrey, that's it. That's Kent. Yeah. Ebbsfleet have gone down, yeah. Just got to do a report, so sorry, can't talk. All right, thank you. Just for our online listeners, I'll run through the other results and have a look at the league table in a bit, but I'm just standing by to do our final report to radio. I'm hearing that Scott Lindsay has got a winning result on his return to Crawley this afternoon. And it was a vital one because there's very few teams they can catch. And one of those was Bristol Rovers, who they took on. Reference to Crawley is just from our BBC Surrey point of view. Surrey and Sussex combined. It's finished Crawley 1, Bristol Rovers 0. 19th minute goal there. And we'll run through some of those other full times until we do our full time reports. Sutton 1, Dagenham 1. Barnet have yet to kick off. They're still 11 points clear because York have lost 2-1 at Braintree and Forest Green have lost 3-0 at Fylde. I give you the silly season. We'll look at the bottom end in just a minute, but yeah, what a really crazy afternoon. 3 goals in the opening 29 minutes, Adrian, as Aldershot went ahead twice and ended up going in at the break 3-2 down. Ryan Jones put them ahead, but Franklin Domi with a classy finish levelled things for Ebbsfleet, and then Josh Barrett with his 15th goal of the season, almost in that kind of lob category, but it was a bit more driven and low this time. And then another moment of class from Moncur, who curled in a free kick to put Ebbsfleet level. Mass confusion between two centre-backs left Aaron Cosgrave clear to slot low underneath Dewhurst to put Ebbsfleet 3-2 up on half-time, and then in the second half, well, the shots probed for a while until they had a little bit of fortune, a handball in the penalty area. Tyler Frost stepped up and put away the penalty kick. That put it 3-3, and from that point on it was all the shots really who actually had some wonderful one-touch passing moves, but could not find a finish. Ebbsfleet held on for the draw. Sadly though, they couldn't hold on to their National League status, as they were indeed, their relegation from the National League was confirmed with other full-time results. But another point added to the total for Aldershot Town, and they end this one 3-3 with Ebbsfleet United. They certainly did. 2,685, of which only just over 100 were from Ebbsfleet. So no, they came out and they stayed with the team throughout what was a difficult afternoon at times, because they trailed for much of it, didn't they? And I think they all have acknowledged the effort that went in to try to find that winner late on. They couldn't find it today, but it's another game unbeaten. Aldershot have lost, I think, only 3 times in 21 league games now, so they really have steadied the ship, and as you rightly say, they're 8 points clear of the drop zone, yeah, still work to do for the shots and also by the sounds of it for the cards, but we'll let you go and get the full time on that one. Yes, in his pre-match, Tommy Widrington mentioned that it would be the last Saturday home league game, and he'd actually called for a show of force from the Shots fans, as you played out on air, didn't you? And they turned up. The average for the season is around about 2,500, but that is a little bit buoyed by that attendance on Boxing Day, which was obviously 5,500 against Woking. So certainly upwards of what they've been here at the EBB of late, but not a patch on what there's going to be here, Adrian, on April the 5th. Which is very nearly sold out now. I'm led to believe less than a couple of hundred tickets left for that one, and the safety advisory limit that's been agreed, I think, has been increased to 7,400. What a day that's going to be. I think if my math is right, 2 weeks today. It is. We'll forgive you that slip. Cheers, Adrian. I've been joined by a couple of supporters now for our online listeners that are obviously desperate to say something, because they come and stood here until I stick the microphone under their mouth. So you just want me... okay. We're going to talk to... Introduce yourself, your name and your age.
I'm Noah Evans and I'm 11 years old.
And who's your mate?
And I'm Max Amali and I'm also 11 years old.
Okay. Now I know, because I spoke to you before the game, that today's the first day you've come on your own as mates to watch the game, haven't you? I know your auntie Becky's here, but where did you stand to watch the game, and what did you think of that one? Plenty of goals.
We stood. Where did we stand? It was like, I don't know what you call it. The
community stand.
Yeah, and it was a right match, you know.
Yeah.
A couple of goals, you know, not too bad.
Yeah, were you at the right end for the goals?
Yeah.
That's good. And who was your man of the match today for Aldershot?
I don't know. Who do you say? Josh, he said.
Jones, yeah, or Josh?
Josh.
Josh for you, and what about for you?
Josh.
Okay, well they've agreed on Josh. Well, the official man of the match was given to Tyler Frost, and Steve and me, we gave ours to Ryan Jones, who got the first goal. So, right, thanks for joining us, lads. I know you wanted to have a quick say. Next time, come ready with your opinions loaded. You can't stand there and then have me interview and then you not have any opinions. So we'll brush on that next time, all right? See you later, guys. Take care. All the best. Well done. Final score here, 3-3. I'm just going to settle myself and get ready for the post-match interviews. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, wherever you have done from around the country and around the world. Just a point for the shots today. They can't be too greedy, eh? They've had a lot of 3-pointers of late. Aldershot Town 3, Ebbsfleet 3.